Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. I am CA Bhargavan Shankarwala, Vice Chairperson of Bhuj branch, serving you as the moderator of this webinar. We are delighted to welcome you all in the webinar being organized by Continuing Professional Education Committee of ICAI. It is my pleasure to be a moderator for the webinar on INTIASIS in registration of trust under Section 12AA and ATG of income tax and recent changes in TDS rates and concurrent audit of bank branches. In a short while, we will start this webinar. First, I would like to appraise you about the CPE committee. The role of a chartered accountant is evolving continuously to accept newer responsibilities in a dynamic global environment. The future of CA profession depends on being flexible and open to innovation. Therefore, we need of the hour is to innovate as per requisites of the contemporary business environment and accordingly upgrade the curriculum and education system of chartered accountancy course. The committee also believes that members of ICI should look beyond traditional areas of practice and seek and explore new areas of business and profession. And hence, the CPE committee is mentoring the members by providing guidance through various workshops, seminars, national conferences, background materials, etc. And simultaneously by encouraging young and dynamic professionals to grow as speaker or master of ceremonies, etc. in CPE programs. The program for this evening is as follows. We have total 2 sessions of 1 hour each and topics are, first topic is Antithesis in registration of trust under section 12AA and ATG of income tax and recent changes in TDS rates. Second topic is concurrent audit of bank branches, a practical approach. Our eminent speaker will talk about mentioned 2 emerging areas of professional interest. Faculty for our first topic is CA Sanisha. I am giving a brief introduction about the speaker. He is a CA with a background in MCOM and LLM. He practices as a CA and has also appeared as a guest lecturer at law colleges. He had the opportunity to deliver sessions at different branches of WIRC of ICI and had received the Partner in National Building Award from Page 3 magazine for his contribution. He is passionate about inspiring others and is a motivational speaker and career counselor at various well-known colleges and schools. And I am specially want to say that thank you to CA Sanisha for being a faculty on short notice, as the scheduled faculty couldn't be part of the today's webinar because of some medical emergency. Now I am request CA Sanisha to deliver the today's lecture. Please, Sanisha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Good evening, all of you. Good evening, all of you. मेरी स्लाइड नहीं देखा रही. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes. This topic is registration of provisional registration, section 12A and section 12AA. Registration of provisional registration under section ATG. Registration of final registration 12A and 12AB. Registration of final registration ATG. Form 10A selected a section of registration 12A, 12AB and ATG. From 10AB, select the section of registration 12A, 12AB and ATG. Detailed discussion on circular number 7 and some of the major consequences of such cancellation are 12A, ATG. List of documents required for filing of Form 10A and 10AB. Recent amendment applicable to charitable trust. Due date of filing of various forms by the trust and recent change in TDS rate. First, Form 10A applies to charitable or religious trust for applying and obtaining registration under Section 12AB, those charitable or religious trusts who wish to claim exemption under Section 11 and 12 are required to get registered under the Income Tax Act of India by filing Form 10A and 10AB. The trusts are required to new provision of Section 12AB to obtain FAIR's registration will become into effect from 1st April 2021. Trusts are basically of two types, public trust and private trust. Trusts can be availed of income tax exemption and benefit under Section 12A, Section 12AA, Section 80G of Income Tax Act. Section 12A apply to both public charitable as well as public religious trust, excluding trust fund whose purpose is to benefit a particular community, caste, or sect. In this case, the trust in including trust deed in the return or only caste, same community. This is an example for this is a Modi community, Sa community. So this is not applicable for TEL-A and ATG. This is a file for the application for 10A and provisional are obtained the certificate, but 10AC, but file the final form 10AB, you are rejected because of this clause. The trust is a purpose for benefit of particular community and particular caste or particular sex. What are the kind of activities in which institution can be involved? Charitable and religious, relief to poor, educations, medical relief, preservation of environment, including watershed, forest, and wildlife, preservation of mountain or place or object of artists or heuristic interest, object of general public utility, yoga, and religious. These are the object, and these are present in the file form 10A and 10AB. These are selected. This trust is in which field: relief to poor, education, medical relief, prevention of environment, preservation of mountain, object of general public utility, yoga, and religious. In case of fresh registration under Section 12A and ATG, the trust has not commenced its activity, newly incorporated trust, at least 1 month prior to commencement of the previous year. This is the Form 10A. Form 10 is required for provisional registration for 12A and ATG. This trust is only incorporated after 1st April 2021. This is an example. This trust is introduced in the 1st April 2025. This applicable this month. This is applicable for Form 10A. Trust has commenced its existing trust at any time after the commencement of activity, Form 10AB. This is applicable for provisions for the apply for Form 10A and 10AB. That is the first clause. The trust or institution which are already registration under Section 12A, 12AA, migration from Section 12A, 12AA to Section 12AB within 3 months from the 1st April 2021. This is a form number 10A, 5 years, and in order to be passed out within the 3 months from the end of the month when application was made. Close to renewal of registration for trust, institution already registered under Section 12AB, whose period of 5 years due to expire. At least 6 months prior to the expiry of the 5 years for Form 10AB for 5 years, within 6 months end of the month in which application was received. The time limit for passing the order, the file the Form 10A, and after within an order passed by Income Tax Department Commissioner as an exemption department for the within 3 months and within the 6 months. There is a limit. Clause 3. final registration, where a trust institution is a provisional register at least 6 months prior to expiry of the provisional registration or within 6 months of the commencement of activity whichever is earlier. Form 10AB, 5 years, within 6 months from the end of the month which application was major application file from the mistake in the form clause 3. The final registration, filed a form 10AB. Sometimes obtain the provisional registration after activity started, but some of the case due to no-knowledge about the law improper, due to come in the 1st April 2021 is first time, there is a awareness, lot of weak awareness in this law, that this time at least 6 months to prior expiry of the provisional registration or within 6 months of commencement of activity, whichever is earlier. Within 6 months of the commencement of activities, whichever is earlier, or at least 6 months prior to expiry of provisional registration, provisional certificate is expired, or commencement of activity, whichever is earlier. Provisional registration obtained only for 3 years. Obtained the registration 1st September 2024. So within the 6 months, but within the activity started the 1st October 2024. So within 6 months and applicable for the Form 10AB. Clause 4. Trust or institution whose registration has become inoperative due to first provision of Section 11(7) of the Act. At least 6 months before the commencement of the assessment year from which is said registration sought to be made operative. Form 10AB for 5 years within 6 months end of the application was received. Filing the application and obtained received the application department, and department is passed the order within the 6 months. Clause 5. The trust or institution has adopted or undertaken modification of the object which do not conform to the condition of registration within period of 30 days from the date of the said adoption or modification. Form 10AB, 5 years, within 6 months end of the month which his application was received. In this case, there are trust deed is a register in the Trust Act in the Gujarat and Maharashtra and another state act and of Section 8 company. There as object are modify object. Object is a change this date and within the 30 days for the file Form 10AB for the updated object and modification object and registration with the receive within the 6 months. The new registration certificate obtained the changes of the object. Otherwise, your registration can be cancelled as the date of modification object. Clause 6. In any other case, including new provisional registration, at least 1 month prior to commencement of the previous year, relevant to the assessment year in Form 10A, 5 years, within 1 month from the end of the month in which the application is ordered to be passed for provisional registration. Clause 5, Clause 6, Clause 3, Clause 2. Within 6 months from the end of the month in which application was received, after satisfying himself about the genius of activities and compliance of other law are as material for the purpose of achieving its object. For this purpose, the PC or C shall call for such document or information and make inquiry as he thinks necessary. If not satisfied, pass an order in the writing rejecting the such application and also cancelling his registration after giving opportunity of being here. In this case, there are some of the application on object is the religious and in the trust deed, and after file the Form 10AB and questionnaire, after you submit an online reply for all the document, and after commissioner the more questionnaire for this trust deed in the main object of the religious main object. Otherwise, in this case, your application is rejected, not obtained the ATG. This purpose, you are modify the object in the trust deed after file with the trust deed and affidavit for the document provide the commissioner on the online and questionnaire within 30 days, and after giving opportunity for here, and after a commissioner is satisfied with the reply and accept, and the order is passed in this favor, otherwise rejecting the application. The fresh registration of 12A, 12AA, 12AB for provisional registration. Form 10A, subclause 6. The trust may be newly incorporated trust. The trust is the incorporated new. The trust may be incorporated, but since its total income is below the exemption limit, there might not be necessary for applying for 12A. This is the basic exemption limit is a 2,50,000. Otherwise, exemption limit, the trust income is the more than trust income is contribution is 5 lakh. Therefore, they apply for the 12A. The time limit, at least 1 month prior to commencement of the previous year, relevant to the assessment year from which the said registration. And section code. Section code is a must required from the filing form 10 clause 2 subclause 6 of clause AC of subsection 1 of section 12A of the Income Tax Act. This is the filing for the form 10A. Select the code. There are many codes are available. That select the wrong code, you reject the application. Firstly, incorporated provisional registration. Select the subclause 6. At the first, second, third. So only for 12A, for select the 2 clause, subclause 6 or clause AC of subsection 1 of section 12A of the Income Tax Act. All 12A certificate of the trust form 10A. The trust is a certificate obtained before 1st April 2021. These are trusts are applied in these sections. This time limit within 3 months from the first day of April 21 and 30th June 2024 is last date is extended by circular number 7. This date is a going. In this form, our selection is subsection 1, clause first, clause AC of subsection 1 of section 10A, 12A from 10A. These are all trusts. These are before 1st April 2021. This applicable for application in file form 10A, subclause first, clause AC of subsection 1 of section 12A. This is must required. Wrong section selects, wrong code select, your application by rejected and not obtain the form 10A, 12A certificate. Otherwise, paying the tax for 30% or more than on their income. This is not eligible for the deduction of all the expenditures. Old ATG certificate of the trust for form 10A. Before, form are different for 12A and ATG, but otherwise 1st April 2021 introduced one form for provisional form 10A and final for form 10AB for 12A and ATG. This is clause 1. Trust or institution all ATG certificate. This time limit within 3 months from the first day of April 2021. 30 June 2024 is the last date. It is extended by circular number 7. This date is gone. This circular is coming for this. This is a major mistake in the filing form 10A and 10AB. The government represented by the trust, more trust are application for the given the circular for rectify this mistake. Subsection 11, clause first of first proviso to subsection 5 of section ATG. This is clause first. Your choose for filing form 10A for provisional, the old age certificate of the trust. This is obtained 5 years certificate. Fresh registration from ATG, provisional registration form 10A for the new incorporated trust. These trusts are incorporated in April 2021 to April 2021, April 2022, April 2023, and trust is incorporated. Otherwise, after in the in the trustee are obtained the certificate of ATG in the finance year 23-24, financial 25-25. This clause 6 is a trust may be newly incorporated trust. Trust may be incorporated but has not applied from ATG as may not had collected donation. Time limit at least 1 month prior to commencement of the previous year, relevant to the assessment year from which the said registration. Section code 12, clause 6, clause 4 of first proviso to subsection 5 of section ATG valid for 3 years. Provisional registration obtained only for 3 years. Final registration obtained for 5 years. And provisional registration obtained otherwise, and after final registration is not applied, so you are not deduction. This activity started, so you are within the 6 months for apply for the final registration. Renewal registration, clause first or first proviso to clause 23C of section 10, code 3, sub clause 4 of clause 23C of section 10, charitable purpose. Only for this code is selects for charitable purpose. Code 4, sub clause 5 of clause 23, section public religious purpose. Only for public religious purpose or this clause sub clause 5. Code 5, education purpose, sub clause 6 of clause 23C of section 10. This clause is removed after new budget applicable in this assessment year 24-25 or all education institute are benefit obtained the 1023C after in this year apply for form 12A. Hospital code 6 a sub clause 6A of clause 23 of section 10. This is a hospital purpose. Clause 4 of first proviso to clause 20C of section 10. Sub-clause 20C of section 10, charitable purpose. This code is select for fresh registration and this code is select for renewal registration. Code 3, code 5, code 6 for the renewal registration in the clause 1 and fresh registration. Clause 4, first proviso 23, section 20 is the code 7, this sub-clause 4 of 20C of section 10, charitable purpose. Code 8, sub-clause 5 of clause 23C of section 10, public religious purpose. Code 9, sub-clause 6 of clause 20C of section 10, education purpose. Code 10, sub-clause 6A of clause 20C of section 10 for hospital purpose. Desert trust is the purpose, charitable purpose, public religious purpose, education purpose, hospital. Education purpose here, education institute are obtained 1026C before the financial year 24-25. At this in this year, they apply for 12AB. Renewal registration, approval after 5 years of 12A and 10AB. Form 10AB, period, assessment year 26-27. Time limit, at least 6 months prior to the expiry of the 5 years validity. Section code, sub-clause 2 of clause AC of section 12A of the Income Tax Act. These trusts are obtained the registration of the final registration for the old registered trust before 1st April 2021 and after provisional registration apply and after filing form 10AB. These are obtained the 5-year certificate for this year are applied for the renewal registration. Otherwise, you are not eligible deduction under section 12A for the section 11 for the 15% of the benefit of the expenditure of the donation income, voluntary contributions. This is period is assessment in 2026-27. This is at least 6 months prior to expiry of the 5 years. Conversion of provisional registration into regular registration of 12A, 12AB. This is our provisional registration obtained from filing form 10A after filing form 10AB. For 10AB, you are required final registration. This time limit for at least 6 months prior to expiry of the provisional registration or within 6 months commencement of activity, whichever is earlier. This is must require. This is must require time limit. This is a many mistake in the apply of the trust, and trust are not obtained this assessment year, otherwise pay the tax on the income for 30%, more than 30%. This code is select clause 3 of clause AC of section 1 of section 12A. This is clause is must require. This section is select. Otherwise, section is subclause 2 of AC of section 1 of section 12A. Otherwise, you reject the applications. Renewal registration of approval after 5 years of ATG Form 10AB. Period of assessment year 2026-27, finance year 25-26. Time limit at least 6 months prior to expiry of the 5 years validity. Section code 13 clause 2 of first provision of section ATG. This is select the clause 2. Select the clause 2. Up file from the file for from the 10A after obtain the provisional registration for is obtain the 10AC certificate. Your file from the 10AB. Further, you show in the another side for find the select the 10AB form, selection of the question. Conversion of provisional registration into regular registration of ATG from 10AB. Time limit at least 6 months prior to expiry of the provisional registration within the 6 months of commencement activity, whichever is earlier. Clause 14, clause 3, first proviso to subsection 5 of section ATG of the Act. Conversion of provisional registration, you are filed the form 10AB, clause code 13, select for the provisional registration. So your application is rejected. Your application is rejected. You are filing the application form 10AB after the notice for the questionnaire. After filing the 10AB form within 3 months, you obtain the questionnaire and after the reply for the questionnaire. But this is a close wrong selection code. Your application is rejected. This must require clause 3 of first proviso to subsection 5 of section ATG of Act. Question 1. In the case of new trust applying fresh registration, if new trust seeks registration from the finance year 2022-23, then it should be applied 1 month prior to commencement of the finance year 2022-23. In the case, it should be applied for provisional registration before 1st March 2022 by the submitting Form 10A. And this said provisional registration will be valid for 3 years. That is up to 31st March 2025. In this case, you are apply for filing Form 10A and obtain the registration certificate 10AC within the 7 days to 15 days. You are running the activity, so you are apply for within 6 months. Otherwise, your activity is not started after the 31st March 2020 valid. The before 30 September 2024, you apply for the final application form 10AB. Conversion of provisional registration to final registration. In above question 1, is a trust started the charitable activity from 1st September 2022. Then the time frame to apply the final registration is earlier of the following at least 6 months before expiry of provisional registration. This is up to September 30, 2024, or within 6 months of the started charitable activity. This is up to 28 February 22. Therefore, the trust should apply before the February 28, 2020 for final registration from Form 10AB. As per the new registration scheme, under existing register, approval trusts were due to ignorance of the provision and system glitch. Many organizations either fail to apply for renewal or apply under wrong code or apply provisional registration or approval. Similarly, as per new registration approval scheme effective from 1st April 2021, the organization who want to apply for first time for registration approval has to apply for provisional registration approval by submitting Form 10A and then have to regularize the provisional of registration approval by making application in Form 10EB within the 6 months of the commencement of activity. However, again organization fail to apply in Form 10AB, converting provisional registration approval within facility time limit, apply wrong code. In this case, yeah, the sum of the organization apply the wrong code, wrong form, wrong section, wrong activity select, you are otherwise rejected form. The Center Board of Director tax in order to provide relief to such organization has been extending the date of applying regularization of registration approval under new scheme of registration for converting provisional registration approval to regular registration approval, and in the series CBDT has issued yet another circular number 7 of 2024 dated 20 April 2024. This is circular is a relief. 30 June 2024 is the last date, and this going the date. This is circular. This is a circular number 6. After first circular number 6, circular number 7, and circular number 6 is the of 23 did not condone on delay of filing Form 10AB for ATG approval. A number of ATG approval has been rejected all over India, resulting increased litigation, and it is also not clear why circular 6 has not included the regulation of ATG approval. This is a major issue after section circular 6 coming. The not condone delay filing Form 10A is a delay. This is a prior going to the 6 month. After filing 6 months, your application by rejected. You are wrong code and the time limit is finished. Recently, the Madras High Court judgment in the case of Srinivasa Priya Charitable Trust with VP number 2703 and of 2023 dated 2/4/2020 held at this close 5 of 2 of circular number 6 of 2023 bearing finance number 3701306/2023 TPL dated 24 May 2023 for the first respondent is declared as illegitimate, arbitrary, and ultra-virus the Constitution of India and direct to the considered application submitted by petitioner as to recognize approval in respect of clause first of proviso of section 5 of section ATG Act within the time. These are filed application within the period of after within 6 months, your application can be cancelled and rejected. Your in this circular 6 against your introducer circular number 7 for this section, your consideration benefit of the Constitution of India, the ultra virus, it is first proviso of section 85G. We understand circular 7 of 2024 has been issued to cover not only the case of regularization, ATG approval, and registration under fifth proviso of section 35 of the Act were missed out in circular 6, but circular 7 is comprehensive circular to condone delay submitting both Form 10A and 10AB. In the circular 6 is not accept the Form 10A and 10AB, but in the circular 7, you are accept delay Form 10 and 10AB. These understood following point mentioned in circular 6 may also be equally applicable to the circular number 7. The exit tax proceeding under section 115 TD will not be applicable for all applicants when they respond this circular. You are apply for the Form 10AB and after filing the 6 month, file the 10AB, you are rejected and you are not going to the appeal in ITET. Or otherwise, you are benefit obtained the 30 June 2024, this circular, and you're not reply for this circular and not appeal, the you are applicable for tax section 11 5TD will be introduced. It is clarified that provisional approval or provisional registration shall be effective from the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which the application is made and shall be valid for period of 3 assessment years. This is a circular 7 and this is a selector form 10A. This clause is selected for the filing form 10A. Form 10AB for regularization provisional registration approval. This is form number 10AB. In this case, application under clause 3 of the first proviso of section 23C, section 10 or under subclause, clause 3 or clause AC of section 1st of section 12A under the clause 3 of the first proviso of the subsection 5 of ATG, the Act till 30 June 2024. This is circular number 7. Your filing form 10AB after the 6 months before the 30 June 2024, you're selected clause 3 and for the 5 ATG over the application. It may be also noted that extension due date shall also apply in case of pending application under clause 3, the first proviso. In this case, your application is rejected before the circular, and after the circular, you are apply for the ITET, you withdraw the ITET application and apply for the fresh registration for the 10AB and obtain the circular and obtain the certificate 10AC for the final certificate for the 5 years. Whether in case whether any trust, institution or fund has already made an application in form 10AB and where the principal commissioner or commissioner has passed an order rejecting such application on before the issue of clear circular, this in this form 10AB extend time provide paragraph 3. For the existing organized register under section 10A approval, 1010C, ATG 35/1 1st April 2021. All organization not to regularize their registration approved for 5 years. For registration of provisional registration, approval to regular registration for 5 years. And form 10A to be submitted. The 5 years for a period of 6 months is already been expired. The year for file from 10AB to 31st June. 10AB submitted, but application are pending with the CID. It may also noted that extension due date till 30 June 2024 shall also apply in case of all pending application under clause 3, first proviso of 23C of section 10 of section clause 3 or clause AC subsection 1, section 12A under clause 3 of first proviso of section 5 or section 80G of the Act, as this case may be. Hence, in case where any trust, institution, or fund has already made an application in form 10AB under said provision on before the issue of this circular, where the principal commissioner has not passed an order before the issue of this circular, pending application form 10AB may be treated as valid applications. Submitted by order of CIT has also been passed, rejecting the registration approval on the ground of delay, selecting wrong code. Issue arising this circular, validity provisional approval has been already expired 31st March 2024. In certain case, validity period of ATG approval was assessment 23 to 24-25, and therefore the provisional certificate has already been expired 31st March 2024. And this issue is whether such organization can submit 10AB within the extent period 30 June 2024. In our opinion, that in the circular to provide extend period of relief beyond the 3 years, in the light of the fact, even the organization whose registration certificate expired 31st March 2021 have the opportunity to apply a regular registration under the new scheme. Therefore, in our opinion, all the such organization shall be entitled to file form 10AB regularization of ATG registration. However, such organization should not receive ATG donation from 1st of April 2024 till approval is renewed and restored. Form 10AB submitted and also order has been passed by CIT and the appeal is pending before the ITAT. 10AB has been submitted and ex parte order has been passed by CIT. Further, there are in the many cases filed a Form 10AB and in the register of the mail ID of the trustee and mobile number of the trustee. In this case, a trustee are not aware about the knowledge about the income tax and go obtain the notice, but you are not reply for the online. There is a first, second, third time notice and not a reply. So you are rejected application. You are on rejected application Form 10AB and in also include the provisional registration also be cancelled. The with effective date of the provisional registration dated. It is made effect 115 TD of tax introduced or for the before past year of the assessment year return. Whether Circular 7 apply new provisional registration approval effective 1st October 2023. Some of the major consequences of such cancellation are 12A and ATG. This is exist tax on the market value of asset. The charity will be liable to pay exit tax on the market value and not a book value of its asset as on the date of cancellation as computed under Rule 17 CB at maximum marginal rate plus surcharge, currently 39%. Exit tax on the market value. Some of the major consequences of such cancellation of 12A and ATG. Loss of tax exemption. Tax exemption under Section 11 will not be available. Vice versa, its entire income, including donation, extra, and its income will be computed under different head, income under the Income Tax Act, and tax accordingly without the benefit of 15% basic accumulation and accumulation 5 years under Section 11(2) of you are rejected 12A and ATG. So you are major tax burden you available for the trust. Loss of approval under Section ATG. The charity will lose its approval under Section ATG. Consequently, the donor will not entitled to deduction under Section ATG after date of cancellation. You are obtained a provisional registration for ATG in the 10AB form of the certificate 10AC. You file form the 10BD for the donors listed in 31st May or before. Deduction of expense on charity. Charity registered under Section 12AB is entitled to claim spending on its charitable object as a deduction. However, if such a charity lose its tax registration, a question may be arise as to whether it entitled to claim spending as a deduction under the normal provision of the IT Act. A question may arise whether the income utilized towards charitable object by the charity can be allowed as tax deduction in the hands under the normal provision of the IT Act, while some court has held in favor of the assessee, litigation on the ground cannot be ruled out. The list of documents to be uploaded with the self-certified copy of the trustee in the filing form 10A and 10AB, the MOE or Article of Association is the Section 8 company register, otherwise trust deed, society bylaw in the Register of Society Act, other legal document is a PAN card, Aadhaar cards, copy of trustee, and FERA registration certificate, copy of order 12A, 12EE is the form 10AC for final form 10AB for required obtain the provisional registration certificate for 10AC for filed a copy of the certified by the trustee. And otherwise, financial statement along with annual report for the last 3 years, order of copy of previous rejected, order of registration under Section 20C, order of ATG registration, copy of approval under Section 85, incorporation certificate applicable for the Section 8 company, trust society registration or the Trust Act and society registration certificate issued by the Trust Charity Commissioner, and any other document equivalent. These are required the document for the filing form 10A and 10AB. Recent amendment applicable to charitable trust and access application preceding previous year not be considered in the year under consideration. No set of earlier deficit access application applicable from 1st April 2023. Expenses allow as application on actual payment basis, not on accrual basis. Utilization of loan fund will not be treated as application of income. You are paid a loan installment. You are paid a 12,000. Your expense are allowed only for 12,000, not a 15,000. Use of corpus and loan fund for application towards object not allowed. No respective applicability of registration. Clause 10, Section 13, only net income can be taxed in case of non-allowance of exemption under Section 11 in the certain case. Due date of filing of various form by the trust. Form 10DB, details of donation received by the trustee, trust registered under Section 80G is the due date for 31st May. Form 10, accumulated fund under Section 1112, 31st August. Form 9A, deemed application, 31st August. Form 10AB and 10BB, audit report, 12(1)B, 30 September. ITR, income tax return, Section 139, 4A, 31st October. Form 10 for accumulate. These are in this year, financial year 23-24, you are obtained the 5 lakh income. And otherwise, you are not a expense. So you are paid a tax on 30%. This income, you are filed a Form 10A and 9A for the 5 years. You are for before the filing or before the filing, before the due date of the 31st August, you are applied for the 5 years. Otherwise, after 6 years, you are not applied for the 5 years. It return on the form the object of the building construction. Otherwise, your education purpose not utilized in within the 5 years, and another 6 years, you are applicable for tax pay on this income for 30%. General mistake in final application, selection of wrong section in the application, not filing the application within prescribed time, not appear in hearing before the CIT, not filing the data in the portal, not filing the complete data as asked in the form. Old to new registration, form application Form 10A, form grant registration in 10AC for the 5 years on before 30 September 2020. TDS rate. There are TDS rate change in financial 2024-2025. There is a new rate of a TDS. The 1st October 2024 are changes of the rate, some of the TDS. Section 194D, in the case of a certain company, payment of insurance commission, the current TDS rate is 5% and new TDS rate 2% is effective date 1st April 2025. Section 194DA, payment in respect of life insurance policy, 5% current rate, 2%, 1st October 30 September 2024, your 5%. Payment in respect of life insurance policy. And 1st October, your 2%. Section 194G, commission on sale of lottery ticket. 30 September 2024, 5%. And after 1st October 2024, reduced from 2%. 194 IB, rent payment by certain individual or HUF. 5% before 30 September 2024 and 1st October 2024, 2%. Section 194M, payment of certain sum certain by of individual HUF, 5% and 2% 1st October 2024. Section 194O, payment of certain sum to e-commerce participant by e-commerce operator. This is current TDS rate is 1% for the 30 September 2024 and new TDS rate effect 1st October 2024 is 0.1. Section 194F, payment by mutual fund of UTI on account of repurchase of unit, 20% proposed to be removed 1st October 2024. New section introduced in TDS on 1st April 2025 of Section 194T. This is a major section introduced for the partnership firm. You are paid the remuneration, you deduct the TDS. This section is 194, payment sum in the nature of salary, remuneration, commission, bonus, or interest to partner of the firm. Not this provision effective 1st April 2025. No deduction if aggregation of such sum paid payable does not exceed during the financial year 20,000. This is a major section, new section introduced 1st April 2024, 5. TDS rate 194. This is a more effect in the bank. This is a TDS, cash deposited. Any cash withdrawal that done more account or more in the previous year by corporate society, that in the banking business or post office or individual who is banking company, TDS rate is 2%. 195P for senior citizen who are above 675 years as per the slab rate is applicable. 194S virtual digital asset payment for one person. In this case, there are some of the filed written in ITR 1 and so in the deduction of the section 194 as TDS in the AIS and ignore the return filing for the one ITR 1, your defective notice you are introduced for the file return. You are filed the filing return in the ITR 2, otherwise ITR 3. 26 section 2 section 206 AA. In case PAN is not available, 20% rate in the force, double rate as per the act, whichever is higher. Section 206 AB. In the case ITR is not filed at higher rate, rate in force or double the rate as per the act, 5%, whichever. These are more applicable TDS in the banking sectors. Cash withdrawal more than 20,000 and 1 crore. You filed, you have provided the 3 years return. Otherwise, you are paid the tax or more than 20%. Any question regarding these sessions you are asked? Hello?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, there are some questions. CA Deep Jyoti Vaishya. What will be implication if section code under which application is made wrongly quoted in Form 10 AB at the application for final registration?
You are filing the Form 10 AB for the wrong section selected. You are obtained the notice for the department on the online portal. You are filed, rectify the mistake in the filing Form 10 AB, the open for the within the 15 days, within the 30 days. Your notice, your reply with the notice.
Okay, next question from Jay Srivastava. What happens if not applying final registration within 6 months of commencement?
These are going to the file Form 10 AB after 6 months. This is not a relief of the circular at that time. You are filed the 10 AB, you are rejected and go to the ITET, and after ITET your relief provided, so otherwise you are obtained the final registration. Otherwise, your provisional registration will be cancelled. Your activity started otherwise.
Okay. Next question is audit will be mandatory if donations more than 2.5 lakh or net of application. And for Section 8 companies, limit will be 0.
In this case, trust are income, donation income, voluntary contribution income, total income, interest, dividend, other income, all are 2,50,000 more than your audit is required. Obtain the 12 AB certificate. In the Trust Act, is your audit is required. The income is 100 rupees or 200 rupees. In this Income Tax Act, is a 2,50,000 is more than you are obtain the certificate 12 AB compulsory. Without 12 AB, you are not audited in the Income Tax Act. 10 BB or 10 BB audit report.
Okay. Next question is TDS on remuneration and interest on CPITL on capital, any exemption?
So TDS?
TDS on remuneration
Huh?
and interest on capital. Is there any exemption?
No. TDS on partners are paid, the working partners pay the interest. You deduct the TDS on the pay the interest more than 20,000 in the financial year.
Okay. Next, old trust having 12 AA registration didn't submit application in new regime till today. Can it apply now?
Yes, apply for the now. When you are obtained the registration is the assessment year 25-26, not the before the past year assessment year.
Okay. And I think now last one. Can assignment of trust be profitable for a practicing CA?
So trust care.
Uh, Assignment of the trust will be profitable for practicing CA. I think it is more practice area.
This area is a more difficult for filing the ITR 7 and Form 10AB. There is a major notice are issue for the ITR 7, and there is a Mary corpus, non-corpus fund, and filing the 10AB report, 10BB report or 10BB report. ITR 7 is a file in time is much required and very difficult and very
Sir, your voice is lost.
voice.
Yes, Sunny bhai, your voice was lost in last two sentences.
Okay. These are ITR 7 is very difficulty filing the form, and there's a major VC contribution, Schedule A, Schedule AI. These are requirement.
Okay, I think all questions are answered. Yes, sir. Just one. Can trustee draw the salary from trust?
Can trustee?
Draw the salary from trust? I think he's asking that trustee can take the salary from the trust or not.
And there as trustee are obtain the salary in the rules and regulation. Otherwise, section 13(3) is a attract.
Okay. Sir, my just one question that if any CA is a trustee in the trust and he is taking remuneration, which is the normal as per the market, so it is allowable or it should be disallowed.
And which purpose of the obtain the service salary, and otherwise you are not you are at a trustee in the trust and you are the provide the professional service and obtain the salary. This is allowable.
Okay. Understand. Okay. So I'm thankful to CA Sanisha for the delivering nice lecture, and also many of doubts was clear, and all questions were the answered by the CA Sunny Bhai as per very knowledgeable manner. So now we are moving towards our second session. Topic of the session is concurrent audit of bank branches, a practical approach. And faculty is CA Akshay Jain from Burhanpur. I am giving brief introduction about the CA Akshay Jain. CA Akshay Jain is well versed with the topics like concurrent or forensic audit and fraud detection. Also, he has a comprehensive understanding of regulatory and compliance framework of Real Estate Regulation Act and has a diploma in information system audit. Some of his favorite topics are role of information systems in enhancing audit effectiveness. Second, best practices in bank auditing. Third, risk assessment and management in financial institutions. And fourth one, compliance with auditing standards and recent developments in auditing regulations. So now, without wasting much time, I am requesting C. Akshay Bhai to take the session. Yes, mic is yours now. Yes, Akshay sir. Akshay sir, can you hear me? Akshay sir, can you hear me?
सर अक्षय जैन सर को बोल रहे हैं ना?
मैं भार्गव, जस्ट अक्षय सर का वीडियो जस्ट चला गया.
Maybe there would be some technical glitch. Let's just wait for another 2 minutes.
Okay.
जी.
Yes.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for a brief introduction. And thank you, CPE committee, for inviting me as a faculty for today's session. Concurrent audit of banks, a practical approach. As a CA, we are doing statutory audit and concurrent audit of branches. But many a times there are some practical problems, some practical issues that are need to be addressed and discussed. Briefing about the concurrent audit. Concurrent audit is a continuous examination of financial transaction and internal processes in bank branches. It ensures adherence to internal controls, regulatory compliance, and accuracy of records to mitigate risk and enhance operational efficiency. Concurrent audit, the objective of behind introducing the concurrent audit is to rectify the mistakes, whether due to fraud or error, as early as possible, as and when occur. So the objective of concurrent audits are to ensure the compliance with regulatory and internal policies. The role of concurrent auditor is mostly about taking care about the bank internal policy, bank circulars, and to adherence about RBI guidelines, detect and prevent error, frauds, and irregularities, validate accuracy and completeness of the transaction, monitor high risk area, and strengthen internal controls. The role of concurrent auditor in bank branches is basically the role as specified in RBI guidelines that a concurrent auditor should be in charge, like a in charge of a branch, should look after the transaction day-to-day basis and point out the issues and irregularities that are happening at a branch. The scope of concurrent audit: verification of daily transactions, review of credit disbursement and documentation, checking compliance with KYC norms, monitoring NPAs. So, in a practical approach, when we first entered in a bank, we should understand about the bank branch operations and risk profile. Means what type of a portfolio a certain branch has. For example, if a branch is in a rural area, then the majorly portfolio will be the KCC loans and gold loans, agri gold loans. Branch is in a semi-urban area, the major loan will be small mudra loans, retail loans. If the branch is in a big corporate area, then the main loan will be SME loans. Prepare an audit checklist. And checklist, I will show you a basic checklist that an every auditor, while performing a concurrent audit, has to prepare, so that the workflow done by the staff can be checked irrespectively. Then comes the execution part. In execution, we are there to perform real-time transaction reviews. Means a concurrent auditor has to visit branch on a daily basis, check their daily transactions, daily disbursement, daily new applications, and conduct a periodical reconciliation of accounts. Periodical reconciliation is basically suspense entries, Gensus, Sundap, Sunsiar, these all terms, the various office accounts that are need to be reconciled. Then come the reporting part. The reporting basically highlight the deviations and areas of concern and provide a actionable recommendation. In reporting part nowadays, all the banks are using ethics software. Basically, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank, they are using ethics software. Manual audit report are done in very few branches or very few banks at a small areas. Majorly, all the things are there in online mode. So, and also the banks now don't only want that these are the irregularities, these are the mistakes. They also are demanding an actionable plan that what can be done to control, to curb the issue and to control the irregularities. So the first come thing in an execution part is about the preliminary review. As an auditor, when we first visit a bank branch, the first thing that one auditor should do is call on the previous concurrent audit report or internal audit report. The previous internal audit report, जो भी last internal audit report है, and concurrent audit report that gives a brief idea about what are the irregularities or what are the comments that are existing in previous report and what are the issues that are there in the branch. Understand branch operation, products and services. As I have told you earlier that what are the branch operations, whether it is a rural branch, semi-urban branch or urban branch, branches, mid-corp, small branch, scale 3 branch, there are different products. For example, there in some branches there are more KCC, agri gold loan. In some branches there are more retail loan. In some branches there are SME loans. So we have to understand that what branch we have been allotted and what kind of operations that branch is engaged. What are the products that mainly the portfolio is made up of, and the services, whether this branch is giving demat services or insurance services. Mainly banks are nowadays are giving insurance services also. Then comes the part of verification. Now, the internal audit report has been called off. The previous concurrent audit report is called off. We have gone through the report. We have checked the report. We have analyzed that what kind of comments and what kind of irregularities that are persistent in our branch. One more thing is that as we appointed as a new auditor, the last auditor report, the pending irregularities that has to be checked out by the new auditor so that no loophole has to be, no loophole is there for either for revenue leakage or for loan account that is there for NPA slippage. So the first thing that comes is daily transaction monitoring. Daily transaction monitoring basically comes under the part of deposits. In bank, there are two departments. One is credit and other is deposit and housekeeping. So the basic thing that one has to start with is daily transaction monitoring. In banks, we often see that the vouchers, there is a big bunch of vouchers, and there we can download that also from reports from system, intersole offshore transactions, exceptional transaction report, that all reports are there in the system. By having that report, we have to analyze that whether there are high value transactions in our branch. For example, if in our branch there are transactions with above 5 lakhs, 10 lakh, 25 lakhs, we can make a slab and check whether more than 25 lakhs we can check on sampling 100%. More than 10 lakhs we can check on sampling 50%. More than 5 lakhs we can check on sampling 10%, like that. Check end of day balancing for cash, vouchers and accounts. After, in banks, at the end of the day, the cash need to be reconciled, the vouchers are to be tied up, and the files accounts that are newly opened account and newly opened saving accounts has to be put up in the file, proper filing. So in bank, the vouchers are basically very key instrument for future purpose also. So vouchers tie up and proper numbering of voucher. For example, in a day there are 362 vouchers. Then the 362 vouchers should be tied up properly, and a proper that total debit, total credit has to be written off there on vouchers head. Then come ensure TDS and GST deductions are correctly applied or not. In banks, there are various type of transaction. For example, audit fees, basically the audit fees. So if a bank is paying an audit fees, then proper TDS has been deducted under 194J, and whether the GST has been properly applied or not. For example, bank are giving AMC or a security agency 194C contract for security guards. Then we have to ensure that the TDS has been deducted at a proper rate or not. For example, a security guard company, a bank is giving, for example, 1 lakh rupees. Then we have to see whether the 2% TDS, income tax TDS, has been deducted or not. GST TDS has been deducted or not. GST TDS also come in a play role when the amount is about 2.5 lakhs a year. After having checked vouchers and all, then come about loan accounts. In loan accounts, we have to verify the loan documentation, approval and disbursement, cross-check EMIs and overdue accounts. The loan accounts that we are checking, we have to check out that whether the proper appraisal form is there or not, proposal is kept on record or not, whether the preconditions that has been assigned in proposal has been followed properly by the branch, whether the documents that are required to be collected from the applicant before the disbursement has been taken care of not. There are two types of requirements here in the proposal: pre-disbursement and post-disbursement requirement. So whether that requirements has been filled up and the bank interest has been taken care of or not. In loan accounts, we see generally whether the DP note has been mainly we see that the DP note has been left blank. No interest rate is written over there. The loan agreement form is there, but it's uh, not filled up. We see that the loan agreement is unstamped. All such things has to be taken care of and should be there, should be done on daily basis. Then come approval. The approval should be taken care of in case of deviation. For example, if there is a, for example, CIBIL score, a CIBIL score of a person is below 675, then approval is required from a higher authority, ZLCC or zonal office. Then whether the deviation has been taken care of or not, the deviation should be obtained. The disbursement, that a gold loan or for example vehicle loan has been sanctioned, the disbursement has been done in a right account or not. For example, if a bank is sanctioned a vehicle loan, whether the amount is transferred or by RTGS or NEFT directly to the dealer or not. For example, a person is taking a Mudra loan or MSME, other MSME loan, whether the amount for that is with margin taken from the customer account has been transferred to the dealer or not. And lastly, the thing in loan account is many a times there has been a thing that a bank has opened an account but has not opened the client master properly. The master should be completed properly. For example, there comes mostly banks, they have to put in Finacle that start date of the EMI, the interest start date, and the end date, whether the dates has been entered properly in the note. Because if the master is not perfect, then the outcome will not be perfect. For example, in case of a education loan, whether the EMI has been to be started after the uh, completion of the course. Before that, only interest is to be taken into account. But in most of the cases, the EMI nor the interest nor the EMI has been collected from the borrower. It is the interest date will be no. In many accounts, it has been seen the penal interest charges, the tab will be no by the bank. The error, this kind of error will affect in the revenue leakage with respect to interest amount, charges amount to the bank. And many a times when a customer gives standing instruction to the bank, if the account is in the same bank, or the ECS if the account is in another bank, then the whether the mandate has been updated in the system properly or not. Because many a times customer give SI in the bank, but bank don't put that SI on the system, and the effect of that is the bank is charging EMI, but the amount is not picked up from the saving account. So many a times that issues came in the bank. Then comes on deposits. Check compliance with the interest rate calculation and KYC norm. Scrutinize large value deposit for money laundering risk. In deposits, for example, if a person is opening a saving account or an FD account, then the bank has to check out whether the KYC AML norms that has been laid down by the RBI has been followed or not, whether the FATCA has been taken up by the bank or not. Because many a times we have seen that the KYC frauds has been taken up place. For example, recently in one of a bank, they have come across three accounts has been opened with fake KYC. For that, staff accountability report also should be asked. The interest rate, for example, if a person is coming for FD, then the correct days, for example, if the days are 365 days, then the correct interest rate should be
365. Akshay sir, hello. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, Akshay sir. In questionnaire, members are demanding for the PPT. Yes. I see Akshay sir has joined. Sir,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please.
Yeah. For transaction with high value transaction, for example, if there is an account of a person which is opened in Jandhan account scheme, suddenly in that account the amount of rupees, for example 2 lakhs, 4 lakh packets have been deposited, and suddenly the cash withdrawal take place from that account, then it has to be noticed that what amount has been come, whether it's a fraud account or whether, for example, in a current case, an account of a farmer was used by two persons to transfer the amount and the cash was withdrawn by taking his sign. Then such type of a transaction should be tracked, and the person should be called and asked about what kind of a deposits and withdrawal are taking place in the account. For example, in small accounts, clearing and suspense accounts. The clearing and suspense account, we have to investigate whether there is any long outstanding entries and verify the reconciliation between branch and head offices. It is seen that the in number of office accounts has been uh, used to root out the entries in bank. For example, to save an account from NPA slippage, mostly the office accounts are used. So once we have to check out that whether there is any transaction route out, whether through intermediary or through Genesis or Concierge. It is also seen that number of entries in accounts. For example, before 2016, before 2012, there are some entries in that account which are pending for a longer period. We don't have to reverse that, ask for reversal. We just have to track out that these are the amounts, these are pending since long, and if there is any adjustment made by the branch or somebody, we should check whether the proper approval from the higher authorities from the head office has been taken up by the branch or not. The KYC and AML, anti-money laundering norms and KYC norms. The bank, the most KYC frauds and KYC fake KYC accounts are nowadays curbed by the bank by having a transfer by having different menus such as pen check and Aadhaar check menus. So accordingly, we have to ensure that the customer profiles are complete and regularly updated, and look for the red flags in the transaction pattern. For example, as I said earlier, that if there is a transaction in a small farmer account, for example, in a 2 lakh, 5 lakh packets, then it is to be seen that where the amount is coming, and if there is a cash withdrawal, then it needs to be diligently handled. That why is the amount from where the amount is coming, and why the lump sum cash withdrawal is taking place or not. Then comes the part for verification process is compliance. We have to see whether bank the cash retention limit is uh, there, and the amount for example, if bank, there should be the amount at any time should not be more than 0.25% of the average deposit, or as may be notified by the zonal offices of that branch. So, for example, if a limit is set up that a 70 lakhs is a cash retention limit, then we have to see that if a branch is keeping cash more than 70 lakh, then it is a red flag that why is the branch is keeping a cash continuously over a certain amount. Then it is a red flag that we need to be mentioned in our report. In a report, there is a point for cash retention limit. Then we have to see whether the validate timely submission of regulatory returns. The branch has to submit a returns in form of PSRS for loans. In case of review proposal, also PSRS to be sent uh, in the next month, 7th date of a next month, PSR is to be sent off. And the controllable expense report also has to be sent up by the branch to the head office, in which the branch has to mention that the budgeted amount of expense that has been allocated to the branch is taken care of and has not been exceed that amount. If a branch want to exceed for example, for a branch, their refreshment expense is, for example, allocated as 1 lakh, and branch is exceeding 1 lakh 5,000, then such needs to be taken approval from the zonal office or head office of the respective branches. Then comes in a verification process is the count cash, count cash, gold and other securities held at the branch, verify physical stock of stationery, example checkbooks. In branch, we have to see that if gold loans are there, then the gold packets are to be sealed in a locker. That we have to count that is there any missing or overall tally is correct. Same amount with the cash. An auditor is responsible to verify cash minimum one to two times in a month and check whether the cash is there is correctly mentioned as per DCB or not. The verification of cash, in verification of cash, one should also note down that the clean note policy as levied by the central government of India has been followed by the branch or not. For example, the branch has to write that number of notes by pencil, not by the pen. In regards to the clean note policy, the bundles should be with the pay slips with the seal sign of the cashier and admin. Has to be checked that if a for example, the branch has called the cash of amount 50 lakhs, and that 50 lakhs should not be put as it is in the locker. For example, in 50 lakhs, for example, 500 rupees note, the payslip will be of the branch from where the amount is coming. The branch should tally it out and should affix their payslip with the seal sign of admin and cashier, so that the if any discrepancy come with regards to the short amount of cash, then the responsible person should be take care. Then come with the physical stock of stationery. In branch, there is, for example, the checkbooks nowadays are there. We apply for checkbooks and we get our checkbook directly at our office or homes. But branch has the stationery, for example, cash checkbooks, DD, FD, and they have been allocated to the various single window operator clerks and to the admin officer. We have to check that the stationery allocated to the different staff is being tallied with as respect to the system. For example, if there is a FD serial for FD is there, then if such FD is issued by the staff is there on record or not. If staff has made an entry in the system, for example, I have if one person come for a DD, the bank issued the DD, then the same should be updated in the system also. There are cases where the sensitive stationery are there in the system but not on the record, and there are the cases where sensitive stationery was missing on record but there are on the system. So that needs to be reconciled on a monthly basis exercise. Then there are some challenges in the branches, that high transaction volume, that vouchers needs to be checked, some complex regulatory environment. For example, if we take about a car loan, a bank open a car loan from a system, then at the time of opening the account, they have to mention whether the about the engine number and the chassis number in the financial system. But during the opening of account, the bank doesn't know because the tax invoice hasn't come. The after the disbursement only the tax invoice will be given by the customer. But the bank has to disburse. So generally they write a dummy chassis number, engine number, and make a disbursement. But we have to ensure that after uh, after receiving the tax invoice from the customer, that bank is updating the engine number, chassis number, the details in the account loan master correctly or not. For example, if the details in the loan master is not correct, then the fraud chances will be there. For example, dummy account, dummy chassis number, and that number cannot be tracked on CFR also. Then, when we go on concurrent audit, we see a resistance from the branch staff. See, as auditors, we are not welcome in branches. They feel that it is a burden on them. So we have to uh, work with them and try to rectify for their good. Then come balancing real-time monitoring with thorough examination. There are number of transactions in bank, and as an auditor, we have to regularly check the transaction on a daily basis. For example, if we gap 3 days, then the number of vouchers will piled up. So on a daily basis, the account should be there. In vouchers, when we see that transfer voucher is there, then transfer stamp should be there. If it is a clearing voucher, then clearing stamp should be there. The voucher there are sometimes check. Then we have to see whether the check has been UV checked. For example, if there is an amount 10,000 is been withdrawn by check, in 10,000 is withdrawal as cash by giving check, then it has to be UV check. For example, if a check of amount 50,000 or more is given for transfer, then it has to be also be checked by the branch as a UV check. Then UV check seal is affixed there or not has to be seen. And also if there is a transaction of amounting rupees 2 lakhs or more, then the external confirmation from the party with regard to the payment has to be taken or not. The register with regard to that, he, we have obtained the external confirmation from the party. The phone number is to be mentioned in a register, keeping up with the technological advancement. See, the banks are also, for example, from Pinnacle 7 to Pinnacle 10, many banks are switching. So with that, we have to also update that how much reports or how much data we can gain from the Pinnacle. We have to see. One thing I want to share is a audit manual that is prepared by us for our staff. For example, this is a bank audit manual that is prepared by us for our banking staff. For example, what are the attendance, which staff is visiting branch on which date has to be mentioned, name of branch manager, the date from which he resumed, for which month report is there. Different types of ratios also have to be noted down in branch. For example, profitability ratio, deposits, CASA, advances, NPA. These all figures should be known to the auditor while preparing the branch profile. For example, there are various types of registers in bank. One should note down that whether the proposal register is there in the branch or not, inspection register is there or not, stock statement register is maintained by the branch or not, sensitive stationery register is there or not. These all registered are should be there in the branch, and this should be updated, and this list should be a master we can say a permanent file in our audit documentation. Whether the branch is having ATM card register, expiry date register, dedicate register, all this should be mentioned. The AMC contract to which company the bank has given, the hardware and software stationery inventory register. For example, the branch is having how much number of CPUs, how much number of monitors are there, whether the unused, I should say the discarded systems, monitor, CPU is there in the branch, whether the same has been sent to the head office or zonal office for disposal. This thing we have to mention in here. Then, as I said, that we have to note down that every month 1 to 2 visits, surprise cash visits has to be done at a branch. Then we can record it out that who is the cashier at that time, who is the officer, and as per DCB and what denomination we found in the locker. We have to check it out the cash scroll, what balance is showing in the cash scroll, what balance is showing in GLB, date of verification, the person who has verified the cash, the balance as per DCB, the clean note policy, whether has been followed or not. As I said that the branch should not be using the pen, they are using pencil for writing out the numbers. Then how many whether the cash retention limit is there and how much is there, and how many days, the number of days the cash retention limit is above, how much days the cash is above the cash retention limit. Then the ATM card verification is there, that ATM, for example, ATM cash verification, we have to go and check whether the in each cassette number of notes are matching with the teller or not. Then undelivered ATMs are there in the bank. ATM pins are there. They need to be destroyed. Whether the bank has the policy of destroying the same or not. Whether the voucher of expenses are verified by branch manager. For example, there are certain limits in banks. For example, up to 500 scale 1 for 2000 scale 2 officer. Whether these limits and the, for example, major payment, then branch manager need to verify that transaction. Whether in branch the armed guard license date. For example, many times we have seen that the guard which is on duty, his armed guard license has been expired there. We have to see that the guard license is renewed every time. Fire extinguisher, the place where it has been placed, the fire extinguisher is expired or not. We have to check it out and return in our report. If there is expired date fire extinguisher, then we have to report in our ethic. Then whether there are some vouchers which where the amount deposited is 50,000 and PAN is not mentioned. As per the KYC AML norms, if amount is 50,000 or more, then the PAN number should be there written in the slip. The remittance of DD, whether the DD, NEFT, NEFT, RTGS, this should be done should not be done in cash. These are basically done through bank transfer or through bank only. Then come the issues of TOD. For example, we have seen in the bank that some of the parties, the bank grant TODs over a period of time for 7 days, 10 days. Then we have to mention it out that the TOD register is being there in the place or not. The LCBG issued by the branch, the bank guarantee issued by the branch, then the bank guarantee register should be there, in which the entry should be to whom the BG is issued, to whom the LC is issued, should be mentioned there. The entries in the outstanding overdue entries in sensitive accounts should be prepared and also has to be reported in our ethic, that which suspense account, then how many entries are there and what is the amount involved, and for how many days the entries is pending. For example, more than 6 months, more than 1 year, more than 5 years, then the classification has to be mentioned in the report. For example, because entries that are pending for a long time are vulnerable and a red flag that uh, they can be subject to fraud. These all these all are the various office accounts entries, and their reconciliation is to be maintained by the auditor. Then comes the saving account form verification. While in saving form, we have prepared a checklist so that the staff just has to check whether the form is complete or not, take it out, verified by the manager or not, photo has been obtained, address proof, date of the form. If PAN is not there, form 60 or 61 is there or not, then this type account number and the details has to be written over there, and the irregularities has to be written. Then comes the various reports that are to be extracted on a continuous basis in concurrent audit. For example, the list of saving accounts, current account, term account, loan account, CC account, ODI accounts that are opened during the month. The EOD reports. These reports are to be generated by the branch at the end of the day on a daily basis and to be verified by the branch manager. The locker overdue report, the accounts pending for review, overdue stock statement, NPA slippage, NPA recovery, insurance pending, LAD pending, and guarantee issued, DCB reports. These all reports are to be generated by the auditor in a month and checked, because if the review is pending in an account for a long time, then the account is can be NPA on a technical grounds. If a stock statement is pending for more than 3 months, then the account may become NPA. If an insurance is expired, then it creates a vulnerability to the bank that if in case of any mishappening, then the bank may not get their claim from insurance company. Then all such, and then comes the LED pending. For example, in we have seen that as per Indian Contract Act 1872, Section 25, subsection 3, uh, we have if we don't claim any amount for more than 3 years, then it is called a time bar debt. To avoid that time bar debt, bank obtains letter of acknowledgement due from the customer in every 3 years, so that in case of any slippage or NPA, the bank may go to the court and uh, take an action under SARFAISI. Then comes the loan verification manual. In this manual, the account number is mentioned and the various type of documents that are required to be obtained from the applicant has to be just take it out. For example, whether the checklist obtained, application, quotation, pre-inspection, proposal, CBD, KYC, CIBIL, sanction, all the documents which are obtained, the queries has to be written. In many banks nowadays, we have seen that the uh, bank is the bank want from the auditor that auditor should do a month anniversary audit. For example, if an account is opened in December 2016, then for the month of December, when we are preparing our report, we have to see December 24 accounts along with December 26, December 2016 account, December 2018 accounts, and has to check whether the L444C expired, insurance expired, post has been done by the branch or not. All these things has to be seen on a monthly basis. Some of the irregularities of the advanced accounts, the gist has been maintained that the release of facility without disbursement authority. For example, the For example, if a home loan is there and he came from for takeover, then the bank has released the title deed without the obtaining proper DD or NEFT. Equitable mortgage, extension of equitable mortgage of property spending. For example, if there is a property bank has taken for as a collateral security, then that property has to be mortgaged. The mortgage has to be created on that property. Then the noting of charges, satisfaction of charges with ROC pending. For example, if a loan is given to a company, then the charges is to be created on ROC, and on the completion of loan or on the uh, payment of loan, then if a customer is closing his account, then the satisfaction of charges from ROC to be given. Noting charges with revenue authority pending. Verification of documents pending. The bank has to verify the documents, for example, KYC, for the purpose of KYC and AML norms. Each and every document need to be verified whether there is any fake document or authenticate documents are there. Rectification of irregularities pointed out in document verification is pending. For example, if there is any irregularities which has been pointed out during document, then uh, such irregularities has to be taken care of and to be rectified as soon as possible by the branch. Non-submission or delayed submission of a stock statements. If a stock statement is not submitted, for example, 3 to 6 months, then the account become NPA on a technical ground. So there is a post disbursement requirement that the customer should give a stock statement on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, or generally on a monthly basis. The customer has to give the stock statement. Whether the insurance of asset is done or pending. Insurance of asset has to be done. For example, is in case of any mishappening, the bank can get their amount, the money from the insurance company, the capital, the LAD to be obtained for, as I have said, that letter of acknowledgement due is to be obtained from the customer in every 3 years. We have to also check whether the access drawing is there or not. For example, a customer with a CC of 10 lakhs and the drawing amount is going to be 12 lakhs, then there is a possibility that something fishy is there. If a Because the drawing DP cannot be exceed the sanction limit, and if there is something like that, that sanction limit is 10 lakhs but the DP is 12 lakhs, then there is a red flag that something mishappening in there in the account. Then come covering of account under legal audit pending. For example, the banks for accounts that are more than 5 crores and above, the bank appoint auditor for legal audit also. For example, if an account is more than 5 crore, then audit has to be done in that account. Uh, a legal audit that contains that all the original title deeds are there, the EQM is proper. Such a report is to be prepared on a yearly basis. Then covering of account external credit rating based on the latest audited financial pending. For example, a customer has said that in a projections that he will cross the sales of 1 CR, but it is seen that there is a only 70 lakh sales he can achieve. So the 30% deviation is there that creates a credit rating, that reduces the credit rating of the customer. This is internal credit rating, and external credit rating is obtained from the external agencies. Then the use of account, the end use of fund is very important. For example, if a person is taking loan for auto loan, then the amount should be utilized for auto loan only. It should not be there that the amount is utilized for something else or for speculation purposes. So these are some of the points which one should look in for advance of for audit of advances. Thank you. Bhargav sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, it is very nice session. And some of the queries are raised by the members.
Yes.
First one query from Dharmendra Kumar Gupta. Is the penal interest is charged on non-submission of stock statement within due date? If yes, then how we will ensure that the correct amount is charged and there is no revenue leakage?
If an account master, if the penal interest code is yes, then the system is charging correct interest. Many a times, bank staff deliberately or non deliberately put n in that column. We just have to ensure that the penal interest column there should be y. Yes.
Okay. Say consequences for deposit more than 50,000 and there is not PAN available. What will be the liability on auditor part? Only reporting or anything else?
First of all, the bank staff will not. First of all, the bank staff will not accept if there is not a, PAN there in the system. And being an auditor, we have just to report it out in our report.
Hmm. Okay. Third one is during. Yes, please. Okay. Sir, during income tax validation, in the refund cases, there is one common query that bank account PAN IFSC linkage issue. But while checking with the bank, it was already linked. So, is there any liability on bank or branch, and auditor should report or not?
That doesn't come under our ambit for reporting.
Okay.
And that issues of PAN linkage failure, if there is a PAN given to the bank, either it is not linked with Aadhaar or either Aadhaar is there with the bank or PAN is not, or if PAN is there or Aadhaar is not, मतलब vice versa case may be. If there is a case like that, then such issues are there coming in the income tax Aadhaar PAN linkage fail.
And sir, some member are asking for the PPT. So if it is allowed as per ICA norms, then please share. And I think there is no more questions from the members. But so I personally thankful that many of my personal queries also solved, and it is very knowledgeable session as you have given the proper screenshot of the reports which are showing in the bank menus, and you have given the lots of detailed knowledge. So I am personally thankful to you and also thankful on behalf of the all the members. Thank you, sir.